观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎您收看通过肢体语言解读人格的系列节目。今天我们很荣幸地邀请到了来自德国的Ulrich Salman 先生，他是著名的肢体语言专家，也是肢体心理治疗师，同时呢，还是很多企业家和国家领导人的资深顾问和肢体语言的教练。Welcome, Mr. Ulrich Salman. 你好。
And ni hao to everybody here in China. I'm very glad to be here.
我们今天要谈论的人物是美国现任总统奥巴马。奥巴马他是美国历史上第一位黑人总统，并且现在是连任的第2届总统。我们今天呢就跟Ulrich先生一起来聊一聊他。
This happens when I talk too long.
It's all over the world. It's a very hard job. So you sometimes need some emotional backing.
After we watch the video and the picture about Obama, what's the impression about him?
He is impressing.
Yes.
He really is impressing, and we say he has got an aura around him, so that he is impressing without saying something, without doing something.
Yes.
And we call it charisma. This is a way of impressing people in a very natural way. He does not have to be trained, or he does not have to look for special words, or the way how he enters a room, how he addresses to you, maybe how he smiles to you or at you. He's impressing.
Yes, without any words.
Yes,
Even
yes,
without
yes.
any words.
And I think when I look at the time of election, the first election,
It was whispered by slaves and abolitionists as they blazed a trail towards freedom through the darkest of nights. Yes, we can. It was the call of workers who organized, women who reached for the ballot, a president who chose the moon as our new frontier, and a king who took us to the mountaintop and pointed the way to the promised land. Yes, we can to justice and equality.
People realized this in him. And they saw his wonderful, bright smile. He can smile, and you just look at him and you forget the world when you look at him while smiling. Because he is the smile, you could say. But he's not only a smile or a smiley face. He had a message. And this message was, yes, I can. Just 3 words. Of course, he had good consultants, spin doctors, to have a look for the best message while for election.
Yes.
But I also work with politicians, and I train them and coach them during the election time. So I know the business. The problem with politicians is you can tell them something, you can try to train, you can coach them, and they say, oh yes, we know, and they open the door, go out to the public, and they can't do it.
No.
So it is very different with Obama. Obama is naturally smiling.
And he was obviously well motivated. In 2002, I heard that he was considering a race in 2004 for the Senate, and I felt like
his gestures are naturally non-verbally speaking.
No.
So when he makes an open gesture, he does not only do like this, he opens it. And he dares to open the space and himself to the space. At the same time, if I say so, and like this, and I say, well, you're welcome, it is a narrow space to be welcome. If I say so, well, there's more space to come. But here, everybody can come. So I'm open for everybody.
Everybody is welcome.
Yes. And so he was elected. So in those 3 words was the message of the spin doctors, of the political party. and of the person, the personality of Obama. And I should say, he stands for yes means, well, it's optimistic. It is, well, we can do it. Yeah, trust me. And the I means, well, I present myself. It's me. I offer myself to you for a good future, what we can do. So can means I stand for a possibility. I don't say to you, we will reach and do this and that.
Yes.
You cannot really rely on politicians when they say like this.
Yes.
But he says, well, I can do
I
it.
can.
I can try it with you. Just join me.
Generations of Americans have responded with a simple creed that sums up the spirit of a people. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes. You can trust me.
Yes, this message is based on trust and reliability. And this is, I think, the personal part in this official message, which was created by some spin doctors, of course. So when you look at him, his gestures, they're open, they're natural. When he moves elegantly. He moves so that you just get the impression it's a flow of movement.
Barack asked us a lot of questions. We said, why would you want to run for president of the United States?
Not movement like this. When he touches someone, this is very untypical for politicians. I told you I know the business. Politicians don't touch the people in public.
Not
Maybe,
so close.
well, just like Bob, Bob, I touch you, but not in the way that the other person feels, oh, for a moment there's a contact and he looks at me and this touch is really touching me and not only pop and back again. And he can do this even in a big crowd of people. He walks in there and then he touches someone and looks there and only for a second.
Very formally.
It is not formally, not formal, it is very personal. Very personal.
Closely.
Yeah, very close. But, and this is something very typical for him, and I think unusual for politicians. He can respect intimacy. Intimacy means that is me, that is my space around me.
Yes.
And
Keep this distance from others.
Yeah, he can keep distance and can come close.
Yes.
So he knows cognitively the border between me and the other person. He smells it, or he can hear by the tone, or he can feel by the warmth of the skin. And then this very, very deep, unusual, sensual awareness lets him stop and don't go further. So that and this cannot be trained. You see, I told you I train a lot of managers and politicians, but this cannot be trained.
But he graduated from Harvard Law School. Is there any relationship between this and his academic background?
I am a lawyer too. I studied law.
Really?
Yes, my first study was law. I've never been to Harvard, of course. But when you study law, you know very much about men and people and human beings.
Yes.
But you're not in touch with them.
Oh, yes, sure.
So there are hundreds of lawyers, but only some are really successful.
Yes.
And really can, for example, there's a murderer, sense, did he kill or not? A lawyer, the official duty of a lawyer is, well, I have to defend the murderer, and he does his job. But if Obama would do this, I think he would also listen to other part of his sensory system, of his sensory awareness system. And this, I think, is the art of politics he does.
What about our kids. What kind of stupid, short-sighted, irresponsible bull?
I have to be careful now. I don't say anything about the content of his politics, just about his behavior, just about his personality, just about the communication, and of course the body language, but not about the content. I don't agree or disagree. Don't ask me. That's not my issue, and we don't talk about this. We talk about the body language and the non-verbal communication. So, referring to him, when I remember this natural way of moving or expressing, or being close and distant enough, can be very clearly seen in a photo I once saw, and I hope you can show this photo today, even now, to the audience. Obama dancing with his wife. Normally, you dance in the way you hold, as a man, you hold your wife with your left hand, and with the other hand you offer your hand for contact, and the wife puts her hand in here. And they dance in a very different way, just very slightly different. He holds his wife like this, and the hands are like this. Yes. So, he's distant enough and very close to her, because she's a loved person for him.
Yes.
So it is intimate and distant at the same time. And the way how he moves is so elegant that you believe him, of course. So that you can believe him, and other people believe him, of course.
Yes.
By that. And, well, just refer a little... sometimes I did not know if I read about it or if I got the impression. It doesn't matter. Opening the arms like this, I told you, it is just like a gesture of, well, I'm open for you, you can come, I invite you. On the one hand, it is also the gesture of a priest in the Christian church. And it symbolizes maybe a very ancient image of Jesus Christ, because he says, well, I come to the world and I'm here for all people of the world. So this gesture also has some kind of traditional and really very, very basic metaphorical meaning. And as I call him also very authentic, he could be a pop star of politics.
And then to know that Reverend Al Green was here. I'm so in love with you.
Yes.
And I think he is.
Yes. If you were the coach for him, what can you do? Anything?
Perhaps I would ask him, will you coach me?
I want to.
Well, what should I advise him? I would not advise him as a coach. I would remind him
Yes.
of some moments which he had shown and which were seen by public and cameras. Those moments when he really was terrifically touched in a very deep and bad way, when he really was sad,
Yes.
or when he was mourning together with other people. I think this, and even when he was crying in front of a camera.
Yes, I saw it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see pictures, and I never saw a politician crying in public. Never.
This evening, Michelle and I will do what I know every parent in America will do, which is hug our children a little tighter, and we'll tell them that we love them, and we'll remind each other how deeply we love one another. But there are families in Connecticut who cannot do that tonight, and they need all of us right now. In the hard days to come, that community needs us to be at our best as Americans, and I will do everything in my power as president to help.
So this is, and I want to remind him, not to tell him, well, do this more often, not this, but to do some backing, emotional backing to him, to remind him non-verbally, well, if life is hard for you in politics, and it is very hard, when you look at the world crises all over the world, it's a very hard job. So he sometimes needs some emotional backing, I think. And I think the backing he has for himself is remembering those moments for him. Because then I think he can feel in that moment of very high stress, he can feel, well, I'm still a human being.
Yes.
This what I...
He must admit he's
Yeah,
also
yeah,
human
yeah,
being.
yeah.
Yes.
And especially under stress. Because under stress, you never know what happens.
Yes. But the feelings seems very hard to control at that moment, at the crisis.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very close into the eyes, and you know and you feel, well, she looks at me and nobody else. I get you. You know, I catch you. And by that moment, she had caught you already. It's expressive. It's a bit more than usual, so exaggerated. Oh yes, he can, and this is very rare among politicians. He can touch people that they feel touched or being touched, and not touch. For example, maybe you haven't. Do you have a picture of the new Pope, the Catholic Pope? Do you have a picture of him?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he has charisma. He comes in and he says something, and everybody says, "Oh yes." You know.
Very convincing.
Well, it is not convincing. It's cognitively.